this entire team here, those behind me, and our community are hurting with you. We really just want Mom back, okay? Right now, we believe Nancy is still out there. We want her home. Our department, the Sheriff's Department, along with all of our partners at the FBI, have been working around the clock. And we just want her home and find a way to get to the bottom of all of this, just as you do.
I was told to shut up. That line showed up in an email to TMZ on February 16th, the fourth message from someone claiming to know exactly where Nancy Guthrie is being held. Same Bitcoin wallet as the first three. Same demand for money. But this time, the details got specific. South of the border, multiple people. A claim that he saw her, with them, 5 days ago. If any of that's true, it changes everything about the biggest missing person case in the country. An 84-year-old woman, gone 17 days. And someone says he knows exactly where she is. But there's a word doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence. If. Before we get to what's in that fourth email, and it's significant, you need to understand the three that came before it. The pattern matters more than any single message. And before we get to any of the emails, you need to understand where this case actually stands right now. Because what's verified and what's claimed, those aren't the same thing. Nancy Guthrie is 84 years old. She's lived in the Catalina foothills outside Tucson for more than 50 years. Sharp, independent. A grandmother who lives alone and doesn't miss her Sunday church live stream. On the night of January the 31st, she had dinner at her daughter Annie's house, played cards with the family. Her son-in-law drove her home. Garage door closed around 9:50 p.m, and then the disconnection started. 1:47 a.m. Her doorbell camera goes dark. 2:12. A security camera picks up motion. 2:28. Her pacemaker loses its connection to the app on her phone. 41 minutes. That's the window. Whatever happened to Nancy Guthrie happened somewhere inside those 41 minutes. She didn't show up for church the next morning. Family went to check, found her gone. Blood on the front porch. Confirmed as hers. DNA from someone unknown found on the property. The house became a crime scene. 10 days in, the FBI released doorbell camera images. Masked man, armed, gloves, black Ozark Trail backpack, the kind sold at Walmart. 5'9", 5'10", average build. That's all they had. Tips flooded in. Over 30,000. A man was detained in Rayo Rico, that's 60 miles south, toward the Mexican border. Questioned for hours, released. Cleared. A SWAT team hit a property 2 miles from Nancy's home. No arrests. A Range Rover got towed from a restaurant parking lot. Then, a break. A glove, found in a field about 2 miles out. It matched the suspect's gloves from the doorbell footage. DNA on it. Unknown male. Sent to CODIS, the FBI's national database. Results pending. And on February 16th, the sheriff made it official. Every member of Nancy's family, all 3 kids, all their spouses, cleared. Not suspects. Victims, day 17. Several hundred law enforcement personnel, 30,000 tips, DNA in processing, and not one arrest, not one named suspect, not one confirmed motive. That's where the case stands. Verified, documented. Now here's what arrived in TMZ's inbox. The 4 emails. Quick thing first. On February 2nd, TMZ and 2 Tucson TV stations got a ransom note. Millions in Bitcoin. 2 deadlines. Different Bitcoin wallet from what we're about to discuss. Both deadlines passed. The FBI never confirmed whether it was real. What we're going through now is something else entirely. Not a ransom from a kidnapper. A series of emails from someone who says he's a witness. Someone who claims to know who took Nancy Guthrie. And won't say a word until he gets paid. 4 emails. 5 days. Same Bitcoin wallet every time. And the story keeps getting more specific. First message. just before 5 a.m. Pacific. The sender said he knew who took Nancy, said he'd tried reaching her kids directly, Cameron and Annie, by email and text. Couldn't get through, so he wrote to TMZ. His price, 1 Bitcoin, about $66,000 at the time. In exchange, a name. The name of the person responsible. He included a Bitcoin wallet address, legitimate, but different from the one in the original ransom note. TMZ sent it straight to the FBI. That could have been the end of it. Anonymous tip demanding money in a high-profile case. Happens all the time, but it wasn't the end of it. Next day, second email, same wallet. The sender was frustrated, said he wasn't being taken seriously. TMZ hasn't released the full contents, but it followed the same thread. More detail, same demand, and a growing impatience that nobody was engaging. And here's the thing. By February 12th, this case already had a proven hoaxer. A guy in California, Derek Kalela, had been arrested a week earlier for sending a fake ransom note to the family. 2 text messages and a 9-second phone call. That's all it took to get charged. So another anonymous stranger demanding Bitcoin? Easy to see why that might not set off alarm bells. But he kept writing. This one changed things. The sender raised his demand to match the FBI's newly doubled reward, $100,000. But he structured it in a way you don't usually see. $50,000 in Bitcoin up front, the other $50,000 after an arrest. And he said he wouldn't touch that first payment until the information proved real. Think about that for a second. Most extortion grabs the money and disappears. This guy was proposing something closer to accountability. A 2-stage payment tied to actual results. And then there was the language. He called the kidnapper the main individual, not the kidnapper, not the suspect, the main individual. That word for main implies others. For the first time in these emails, the sender was suggesting this wasn't a one-person operation. He also dropped a line that TMZ's Harvey Levin read on air. Whoever goes after this person should... His words, and be prepared to go international. His reason for going through TMZ instead of police? He didn't trust law enforcement, didn't trust them at all. His message was basically, you don't trust me, I don't trust you, so let's use a middleman. And here's what else was happening that same day. The FBI got preliminary DNA results back from the recovered glove. A SWAT team descended on a property 2 miles from Nancy's house. The investigation was accelerating. The emails were accelerating right alongside it. Same wallet. 4th message. And this time the sender didn't just make claims. He described what he says he saw. I know what I saw 5 days ago south of the border, and I was told to shut up so I know who he is, and that was definitely Nancy with them. Every phrase in that sentence is doing work. So let's take it apart. South of the border, Tucson sits 60 miles from Mexico. The man who was previously detained and released, that was in Rio Rico, a community right on the way to the border. I was told to shut up. You don't get told to shut up by strangers. That implies proximity, some kind of connection to the people involved, or at least, that's what the sender wants us to believe. I know who he is. Not they. He, specific. The sender claims to know the kidnapper by identity. That was definitely Nancy with them. Them, not him, them. This is the second time across these emails that multiple abductors have been referenced. First in the main individual phrasing, now here. And his reason for not going to the FBI directly. A burglary conviction. 10 years old. He says he's scared that coming forward would make him a suspect, not a witness. Still wants $50,000 in Bitcoin. Here's a detail worth sitting with. 5 days before this 4th email would be February 11th. That's the same day the first email was sent. If the sender's telling the truth about seeing Nancy 5 days before writing this, that means the alleged sighting happened right when this whole email chain started. 4 messages, same identity, escalating detail every time, and a claim that, if it holds for our, means Nancy Guthrie is alive, held by multiple people, across an international border. But that word hasn't gone anywhere. It's still sitting right in the middle of all of this. If, the intermediary. So after that 4th email, TMZ did something you don't see very often. They published a response, right on their site. An open message directly to the anonymous sender, Harvey Levin, TMZ's founder. Laid it out plainly. Send us the information. We'll forward it to the FBI the moment we get it. That creates a paper trail. Documented proof that you provided the tip. And if it leads to finding Nancy, you're eligible for the full $100,000 reward. Levin confirmed the FBI knows about this arrangement. TMZ shared all 4 emails with federal investigators. Think about what that means for a second.
Is Monday morning, we have received a 4th letter from the same person who says that he knows where Nancy Guthrie is and he wants money in return for the information. Essentially, he wants the reward. So I have something to say to you, and I've already talked to the FBI about this, that if you are not real, you're committing a crime, and you should know that. And this is a serious federal crime. If you are real, this is the 4th letter you've sent, and I should tell everybody that in this letter, it says, I know what I saw 5 days ago south of the border, and I was told to shut up, so I know who he is, and that was definitely Nancy with them. This is the 2nd time he has referred to more than one person involved in this. He said there is a main person and there are others, and he said it here. He is saying that Nancy was taken to Mexico. Now, this is what he's saying. I'm not going to vouch for him, but this is the 4th letter. We have sent them all on to the FBI. And he also says one of the reasons he's worried about coming forward is he has a record. He has a burglary on his record from 10 years ago. So I don't know if you're real or not if you're watching this, but if you are, and I have told the FBI that we're going to do this, they know this, that if you're worried about getting this money, and you really do have this information, send it to us. You're sending us these letters. Send it to us. We will forward it to the FBI. And that way there's a record that we have that you supplied this information. If they find her and they find the kidnapper, then at least there is evidence, because we have it, that you're the one who provided the information. So this is a way for you to get that money if this really is.
A media outlet, an entertainment news site, is functioning as a negotiation channel between an anonymous source and the FBI in an active kidnapping. That's not how these things usually work. The sender says he doesn't trust law enforcement, so he's routing everything through TMZ. And TMZ is saying, fine, we'll be the bridge, but you've got to give us something real. And what has the FBI done with all of this? Nothing. Publicly, anyway. They haven't deposited a cent into that Bitcoin wallet. Haven't made any public statement about these specific emails. Just silence. TMZ's own people have said out loud what that silence probably means. If the FBI thought this was credible, there'd be reasons to act. The fact that they haven't. That tells you something. Or it might. But here's what's happening alongside that silence. Regular people, strangers who have nothing to do with this case, have been emailing TMZ offering to crowdsource the Bitcoin payment themselves. They can't figure out why the FBI won't just pay. They want Nancy home, and they're willing to fund a tip from someone who might be completely making this up. That gap between institutional caution and public desperation is where this whole case lives right now. So, is this person real? There are reasons to take it seriously. 4 emails over 5 days. That's not a one-off. That's persistence. Same Bitcoin wallet every single time. A consistent identity that hasn't shifted or contradicted itself. Each message builds on the one before it. The reference to multiple abductors showed up in email 3, before the more detailed claim in email 4. The Go International warning and the south of the border claim track with each other. And that payment structure. Half up front, half after an arrest, with a promise not to touch the first payment. That's unusual for someone just trying to grab money and run, and there are reasons to doubt every word of it. Derek Kalela, arrested February 5th, fake ransom note. 2 texts and a phone call that lasted 9 seconds. This case has already produced someone willing to exploit a family's worst nightmare for attention or money. The sender wants Bitcoin, anonymous, hard to trace. His stated reason for avoiding police, a burglary conviction from a decade ago, is convenient and completely impossible to verify without knowing who he is. And the FBI, the agency with the resources and the mandate to chase down exactly this kind of lead, they haven't paid, haven't responded publicly, haven't given any indication these emails are worth pursuing. This case has been drowning in unverified messages since the beginning. Ransom notes to media outlets. Communications that nobody's been able to authenticate. When a case gets this much attention, the noise gets loud, really loud. And somewhere in all that noise, the actual signal, if there is one, gets harder and harder to find. And then there's the evidence that exists completely apart from these emails. DNA from an unknown male, found on Nancy's property. A glove with unknown male DNA that matches the suspect's gloves in the doorbell footage, found 2 miles away. Surveillance images of a masked, armed man. Walmart cooperating on the backpack and clothing. CODIS results still pending. None of that proves the emailer is telling the truth, and none of it proves he's lying. The verified investigation and the anonymous emails, they're running on 2 separate tracks, same case. No bridge between them. Investigators have said they're working through what one federal source called a myriad of theories. They haven't narrowed to any single one. The sheriff's department pushed back on reports that called this a burglary, gone wrong, said they never confirmed that, wouldn't rule it out either. So what you've got is a case with plenty of evidence and no public answers, and 4 emails from a stranger who says he has the answer. But only for a price. Nancy Guthrie needs medication every day. Without it, the sheriff said, the consequences could be fatal. Her pacemaker's been disconnected from its monitoring app for over 2 weeks now. Her daughter walked away from the Winter Olympics to look for her. Her family has posted video after video, pleading, offering to pay, saying they'd do whatever it takes. On Sunday night, day 15, Savannah Guthrie looked into a camera and spoke to whoever has her mother, or whoever knows where she is. It's never too late to do the right thing.
It's been 2 weeks since our mom was taken, and I just wanted to come on and say that we still have hope. We still believe. And I wanted to say to whoever has her or knows where she is that it's never too late, and you're not lost or alone, and it is never too late to do the right thing. And we are here. We believe, and we believe in the essential goodness of every human being, and it's never too late.
And somewhere out there, a person with a Bitcoin wallet and 4 emails to TMZ says he knows exactly where Nancy is, says he saw her, says he was told to shut up about it. The FB hasn't said a word. 17 days, 30,000 tips, hundreds of investigators, DNA waiting on a database, and 4 emails that might mean everything, or nothing at all. If you know anything about Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, anything at all, the FBI tip line is 1-800-CALL-FBI. That number's for everyone, including whoever's been writing those emails.